right, another episode of Conversation After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's good with me, as always. What's good with you?
It's all good. It's all good. Tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you want to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Hit us up. You want to give us a question? You want to give us a steamy story? Something like that? Hit us up. We'll read it on air. We'll give you our opinion. You can also go to our website, conversateafterdark.com. You can listen to our old episodes. You can download episodes. Hit us up. So, Tay.
Yes.
Just me and you today.
Yep.
So I'm going to start you off with a question.
Okay.
Nudes.
Oh, Lord.
Thumbs up or thumbs down on sending people nudes?
I have no problem sending nudes. I've learned through trial and error that you have to be very selective with who you send nudes to.
Now, why you say that? Somebody did you dirty?
There was some incident years ago where it got back to me.
Your nude got back to you, or somebody
that it was given? The fact that it was given got back to me.
So yeah. A dude told you that another guy showed you his, bitch ass.
Yep. Pretty much.
Whatever that dude is, you was like, oh, dog, come on, man. You don't do that. So are you like cutting off your face, or you showing the full deal?
In my young reckless days, I was showing everything. Well, I mean, I've already talked about on this podcast. I've already talked about my experience with an older website where my face was not shown. But in my reckless days, when sending them to people, again, trial and error.
Yeah. I get it. I'm pro sending nudes. I mean, I'm not showing my face, but if it's a fair exchange, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know how I feel about you if you send somebody a nude, if it's cool if they share it with somebody else or not. Got a friend.
You don't know.
Because somebody changed my mind. Well, they didn't change my mind. They gave me an alternative perspective.
Okay.
Now, if somebody sends me a nude, I do feel as if they're sharing something with you that's private.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really cool to be like showing your boys or putting it on a website or doing anything like that. That's not cool. But I had shared a nude with this young lady. And I was like, yo, you ain't show my shit to somebody, did you? And she was like, yeah, show my homegirl. I was like, what? Like, what's up with that? Like, I didn't really care, you know what I mean? But I was like, what's up with that? Now, as the roles were reversed, she's like, once you send it to me, it's mine. I can do with it what I want.
See, I don't like that. And I'm being hypocritical. I say I don't like that because if I have not given my permission for you to share it, then it's not right for you to share it. But I will admit that years ago, I did show a friend of mine a really impressive one that was sent to me. Okay. I didn't send it to her. I just showed her my phone.
Okay. And then like, what happened?
Nothing. She just complimented it. That was it.
That's it.
Yeah. And it wasn't a guy that I was like seriously involved with.
So would you? So clearly you wouldn't show like somebody that you really like, because I think that's really like the litmus test for guys. Because like if it's like a jump off, somebody you just met on a dating app or somebody y'all not really that serious, y'all not going to see each other again. I could see, like yo, check this out or whatever.
Right.
If there's any hint of potential with this person, you're not showing it. You're not showing it to your people.
Depends. I say that because I've talked about. Well, I haven't gone into detail, but I have experience in alternative lifestyles.
Okay.
So in that respect, I might show somebody that I know may have an interest in my guy if we're in that lifestyle.
Okay. Uh, I'm there with you,
Mhm.
but I'm not there with
Okay.
you. Like I don't want to know. Like I don't care what you do, as long as you don't bring anything back. But me, like recruiting, me recruiting somebody for you, that ain't gonna happen. You got to do your own work.
Oh, well, Lord, I'll be telling too much of my business. I was gonna say we recruited together, but
Well, I mean, if y'all working in tandem, that's fine. But I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I'm a lone wolf when it comes to this shit, and I expect you to be the same way. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think as we have gotten older, or maybe just like we're getting used to technology, like sending nudes has become more normal. I would say. I mean, because like we just didn't have the opportunity to do it like back in the day. Like
right.
back in the day, I remember, if you had a girl that would allow you to like take a picture or whatever, or say you a guy that's taking a picture, you couldn't just take the disposable camera to Walgreens and get it developed. Because like you either had like really know the person that was going to develop the pictures, because I'm telling on myself. So if you try to get pictures like that developed, they would just throw them away. Like they wouldn't develop it for you.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day, yeah, you just couldn't take any. If you had some nude pictures on your
Hmm.
camera or whatever, they won't develop them. They'll throw them right away.
I didn't know that, but that shows how much I've taken film like that too to get it developed. I didn't know. I thought that they would do it just because you're a paying customer. I didn't know. I mean, I-
I bet whatever dude developed your shit was probably like one.
no, 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 no. Now I never had any. I never took any with those cameras back in the day.
One for me, two for you.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, nah, but it's something else. I mean, what do you do with the news though? You just use it for your spank bank.
Um, the only time I've done that is when I've had experience with it. Like if it's just some random, it really doesn't do anything for me. But if it's one that I liked and I've experienced, then
Mhm.
yeah, it goes into I mean, I don't think women call it a spank bank, but yeah, it's used for the same purpose.
We live in the group right now, and we have our homegirl from the shy. She said, "Nope, Tay, that's pornography." Our homie from the ATL said had to use a Polaroid. Hey, that's what you call
God,
an expert right there. He know. Look. Look, shake that joint.
I did do that with my first boyfriend. I will admit that. But it was Polaroid, so he had the picture with him. Nobody didn't have to take it to get it developed.
What,
I,
what,
I mean, I can see that now that that's pornography, but it didn't register to me. I guess I just thought it would be developed just like any other.
mm, yeah. Nah, I mean, I guess I wasn't that advanced back then, so I wasn't. I was just glad to get it. I won't tell you. It wasn't until I didn't start asking for pics until like we had digital cameras,
Okay.
and even then, I was storing them on like my computer at the time. I remember I was like, man, I got with this girl, really liked her, and I was like, I told my boys, I said, man, I gotta get rid of these pictures and shit, and they was like, nah, man, if you just create a folder and then another subfolder and another subfolder, she'll never find those pictures.
Women are nosy.
Let me tell you, found that picture. I got it on my computer and like every little folder was opened up. And it wasn't like I couldn't really deny it because I had
Mhm.
that old comforter set, that old comforter set that everybody got from Sears, like that red and green joint.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I couldn't even deny it. So yeah, I don't know. News are cool, man. But speaking of Spank Bank, you know what? This is May,
Yes.
and May is what?
May is National Masturbation Month. I hope everybody out there is celebrating.
Okay, so we talked about last week. Last week, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we had on we had on Candace with a K. We had on the preacher, right?
Right.
Make sure that, that and you talked about the purity culture.
Hmm.
How does the purity culture that you came up with, how does that look at masturbation? Is it frowned upon, or is it something that is somewhat approved because it's not actual sex?
Um, I don't remember it ever being really a topic. That was more so a topic that was geared towards the guys. I think with when it came to girls, it was just sex is bad, don't do it at all. So that included masturbation. But I think with guys, it's a scripture that's referencing spilling your seed. And I know that was used on guys a lot, but the truth about that scripture is that's actually not talking about masturbation. So to use that and saying that masturbation is wrong is actually not correct.
Good, because I showed it. Listen to that shit. I showed it. Listen to that one. Not at all. All right, so we had Yarnell on, right? Yarnell that sells the sex toys. They have sex toys for women and they have sex toys for men. Here's my question for you: how often is too much? Like how many times a day, a week, a month, in your opinion, is normal?
Is normal for masturbation? I
Can
mean,
it
you
be, can it be too much? Can it be too much?
I don't think it's too. I mean, I think it becomes too much. Like with anything that can become an addiction or distraction if it's taking you away from your responsibilities of life. But I mean, nobody can tell you how many times you can touch yourself.
Have you ever got to a point like when you're in a relationship and maybe you were self-pleasing yourself too much and it was affecting relations between you and your partner?
No,
What?
that's never happened for me. No, because
Y'all don't get desensitized. Like y'all get the Hitachi wand and, and wear your shit out, and then he's like, "What's going on? Like it's taking 2 hours for you to get to this climax. What's up?"
I mean, I've heard conflicting things on whether that's true or not, whether somebody can become desensitized or not. But in my opinion, a toy and a human, I mean, there's no comparison. So I'm in pro toys. I say this all the time. I am pro toys, but a toy cannot compare to a human. So for me, it's never been a problem using both. And there was a time in my life where I was using a toy almost every day.
So you're saying that the is it that the orgasm that you get from being involved with another person doesn't match what you get when you are masturbating? Is that what it is? Or,
No, I'm
or
not
is like
saying
the experience, the journey is what matters to you?
yes, it's the experience, it's the journey. Because truth be told, I can give myself one better than most men can give. I hate to say that, but
Hey, now listen, you're gonna have a bunch of motherfuckers hitting up CVAD the podcast at gmail.com like to test that theory.
that's not gonna happen.
That's because you ain't never had a top flight security motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true either. I'm just saying
What you saying? How you giving one harder than the dude?
because I hate to say this, but I'm a 2 minute chick with myself. So it can be and the toy, I mean, even though, like I said, even though there's no comparison, toys can do things that humans can't. So that's one reason, that's one thing. But I mean, but it's still, even though, like I said, even though I'm pro-choice, even though I can sometimes give myself one better than a guy, there's still no comparison. There's no comparison for human touch. The toy, there's no toy that can do that.
Mm. I think that it definitely has impacted my relationships in the past, and the reason why I say that is not because I was desensitized. Well, I guess you can kind of say desensitized, um, it was taking a lot longer for me to do what I got to do. And women have egos as well. So if you just putting it down, you got her seeing stars, but because you've been, hanging out with Rosie Palms all day, and then you just can't, you're not busting like you normally bust, then she starts to feel some sort of way, because like, well, what you doing? Like you sleeping with somebody else? Like, am I not good enough? So it really started to impact my relationship. And I found that once I kind of chilled out on the masturbation while I was in a relationship, like a serious relationship, the sex was better because
Hmm.
yeah, because like, if you were somewhat, I hate to say desensitized because it's not like you're not feeling anything at all, but when you're more excited during the moment, then it just makes it that much better because there's a thrill involved, right? There's a thrill in the sensation and the ecstasy and the pleasure. But then there's also a sort of thrill like, well, goddamn, this is good. I need to hold this back. And let's switch positions. Let's do that, instead of just beating it up because you can. Now,
I mean, well,
go ahead.
just beating it up might not be a good thing anyway. But
You
I
know
was
what I mean? You just going and going and going and going and going. Now I know you like them 4-hour sessions.
I was about to say there's some women who might say that the longer is better, but but I was reading an article where it says I was reading about the benefits of masturbation, and one of the benefits is better sex. So I don't know. I guess it's different for everybody.
Hey, you got a fan club. Shout out to KB from Philly. Say what's up to you. Out there. But if y'all got a question for us, go ahead and read it. We live on Facebook. We'll read it on the air. But yeah, I don't know. I think the power move is
Hmm.
mutual masturbation. I think a lot of people sleep on that joint.
I was thinking about that. So so this is my thing. One of my fetishes is that I'm a voyeur. So I like to watch. So to watch my guy or the guy I'm with masturbate is such a turn on. But I get shy if it's the other way around. I don't like to be watched like that.
Well, what's up with the reciprocity? This ain't the first time.
No, now in that case, it's not a it's not reciprocity. I'm not an exhibitionist like that. So I don't like to be watched. So that and I mean I will do it for my guy. I will do it, but it's just not it's a little uncomfortable for me. I don't like to be watched. I'm an introvert. I'm a true introvert. I do not like to be, don't look at me. I don't like a lot of attention. Yeah, it's a little unnerving.
So sex with the lights off for you.
No, 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 because when you're having sex, you're both engaged in the process. But you just watching me engage with myself, that's what's kind of unnerving to me.
How do you disassociate that introvert side of yourself if you go to one of those spots that we won't happen to go to? How do you handle that?
Um, because 9 times out of 10, everybody's playing. So I'm watching other people play and they're watching me. I don't know. Don't ask me. It's weird. I know. But yeah, I don't like to be put on display. Maybe that's the thing. Put on display. If we're all doing the same things, if we're all engaged in the same things, it doesn't bother me. But like putting me on stage by myself now, because I used to be, I used to sing and act and all that stuff. I love the stage that at that point,
Mhm.
but when it came to sex, no, 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 don't just be sitting there watching me.
Okay.
Bad English and all.
Well, Michelle in Atlanta says she thinks it's detrimental to your relationship if it's too much. I guess it just determines like what's too much, right?
Right.
Like because you know what, honestly, like you said, sometimes you can get yourself off better than somebody else can. Sometimes I could just knock that out, and I don't need to be bothered. I ain't got to worry about your feelings. anything like that. And it's safe sex, right? I mean,
That's true.
it's the way I do it. It's safe. I know some people do some weird shit out there, but yeah, I think it definitely could be a problem. I guess with anything, there's limits, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Now, should you still be masturbating if you are married or if you're in a long-term relationship, or should you just be waiting for your partner? Say y'all live together. There's no long time. It's not extended periods of time when y'all separated. Should you still be rubbing them out, or should you just well, I'll just wait till they get home and I can go ahead and do what I got to do?
I think that's an individual choice. I don't see a problem with it. I've heard women say that, why should I do that when I have somebody? But I mean, I don't see a problem with it. Now, like Michelle said, and I said this earlier, if it becomes a problem where you're not taking care of your responsibilities, where you're putting your person off to do that by yourself, then yeah, it's a problem at that point.
So is it the fact that they are doing it, like the act of masturbating, or is it the tools that you use to go along with it, more specifically porn? Because I know back in the day, you remember Kurt Franklin came out and he said he had a porn addiction. And I'm assuming if you're watching porn on a frequent basis, the reason why you're watching it is to go ahead and get one off. If you just baby, I'm just thinking about you. I'm thinking about you when I'm doing this. Is it less problematic if they're thinking about you or if they're watching porn to get off?
See, I'm a little different. I don't have a problem with the guy watching porn. It doesn't bother me. It never has.
I think you and I are probably different when it comes to that because we're not threatened by. We're just not threatened. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. We're not threatened when it comes to outside situations, but I can see how some people would feel like if you're not secure in yourself, I can see how your partner watching porn on a consistent basis, especially if they are watching porn that doesn't fit your body type, or say you are a schmedium and she loves watching 13-inch double digit dicks, you know what I'm saying? Then I can see why you'd be like, well, damn, am I not satisfying you? Or if you were a skinny mini and do BBW orgy, I can see how that could kind of play with your self-esteem a little bit. But I mean, I think everything you just communicate and talk, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. I think a lot of this stuff can probably be nipped in the bud if there's enough communication about, I do this, but it doesn't mean that I'm not feeling you. It's just something I do extracurricular. And then honestly, I would rather my partner, if we're monogamous and you worried about them potentially stepping out, I'd much rather them be, pleasing themselves and out there risking getting a disease or unwanted pregnancy or something like that. So, I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I guess. So I got a question for you to get out the masturbation thing.
Okay.
You travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
You meet somebody and y'all hit it off. It's not too serious, but y'all have a nice little vibe, and you decide that y'all want to take a trip together. A nice little vacation. Now, you don't travel as much as the person that you are dating. This person has got all the bells and whistles. They got clear global entry. They have the frequent flyer miles, and you all schedule a trip, right? Y'all say, okay, we're gonna go to the islands. Y'all get to the airport. He's got TSA clear pre-check. You don't. Are you gonna feel some type of way if he goes through the clear pre-check and you don't have
it? Yes.
What?
Yes.
So he got to take his shoes and his laptop and shit out. Just
either way, either way, he's gonna have to wait for me. Either wait with me or be on the opposite side and wait for me. I'd rather we wait together. I do have clear. I don't have the other ones, but Yeah, I would rather him wait with me than be sitting at a restaurant or at the bar waiting for me.
Okay. All right. So the next step, the next level of this question.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all get to the gate, right? Y'all figured out you gotta get through TSA and all that. You get to the gate and they say, hey, Mr. Mark B, you've been upgraded to first class based on your stats. Is it a problem if he takes the first class seat and leaves you in coach?
Yes.
What?
Problem. Yes. Either we both
Why?
get upgraded or neither one of us get upgraded. If we're traveling together, either we both get upgraded or neither one of us gets upgraded.
You just gonna be sleepy anyway, or do your little or playing your little game, playing your
Depends
little
on
game in your phone. So you know
depends on how long the trip is.
that's selfish.
I'm not selfish about a lot of things. Actually, I need to be more selfish in relationships for real. But on
Shouldn't you
that
want
one,
the
yes, I
best?
would be selfish, huh?
Shouldn't you want the best for your partner?
If he don't want the best for me, what was the word you used before? Reciprocation. It need to go both ways.
Man, our homie D from Atlanta said, I traveled with women that had it and I didn't. I always encourage them to go through pre-check, but they rather do gym pop with me.
There you go. But I'm not encouraging. I'm not encouraging him to leave me though.
So fuck that gym pop. You know, I'm gonna see you on the other side. I'm gonna be dressed and ready to go. Like, you step your game up. Step your game up. And I guess maybe you shouldn't maybe yeah, hey, that's a discussion y'all should have before y'all travel. Like, yo, this is how I roll. And you know, is this gonna be a problem? Yes or no? And I asked you this question because this is actually a situation that I went through.
Oh gosh. And
I
what
mean,
did you choose to do?
it didn't even work out though, because
Oh, okay.
me and the young lady fell out and ended up canceling the trip. But you know, I prepped her in saying like, yo, you know, there's a good chance that I get because I do get upgraded. A good
Mhm.
chance that I get upgraded. And she was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I was like, I mean, we're still gonna be on the same plane. She was like, but she like you was like, well, we're traveling together. And if you're in first class and I'm not, then we're not traveling together. And in my mind, we're just on the plane together. The traveling together is at the destination.
It's the whole thing.
I don't know, y'all selfish.
Traveling begins when you leave the house going to the airport or the train or the boat or whatever. That all of that's included in the travel.
I don't know. So what if y'all go in there and he goes to first class and he leaves you back in coach, right? He's like, yo, deuces. And he is first class.
If he don't want the vacation to go bad, then he should not do that.
So if he goes to first class on the way there, y'all on the island, he
I
didn't
would
he
have
didn't
an
pay.
attitude.
So wait a minute, wait. Let me add this. What if he paid for the whole shit? Are you still gonna have an attitude? What?
Still gonna have an attitude. Now I might get over it. I might get over it if he paid for everything. I might get over it, but he's still gonna feel a little bit of my wrath.
That's janky. That's janky. She said Michelle said use them points, buddy.
Exactly. Use the points to upgrade my seat too.
I need my points for me. I earned them joint. Sure. Now I already paid for you to come along. So you gonna hold out when they get there? Damn.
I can't say that because I've never done that. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd hold out, but I would have an attitude at least for a day or two.
No, you're gonna have an attitude from the damn shuttle to the resort. And as soon as I hit the buffet line, your ass gonna be straight. You're gonna eat some food. That's how y'all be. Most of y'all be angry because y'all either need two things.
I'm stubborn.
Y'all need some food or some dick. And you about to get both. So you ain't gonna be mad for
I'm stubborn. If I make up my mind that it's gonna be this way, it's gonna be that way. So if I feel like I need to have an attitude with you for you to learn your lesson, I'll have an attitude.
I mean,
Food
You only messing yourself up because you got to do it if he likes you enough to be like, yo, I'm gonna spend my resources on taking you on this trip. And then I get you there, and you got the nerve to have an attitude and shit. I replace it. I use these points on somebody else.
I get that, but I am who I am. Stubborn since the womb. That's my mom. That's what my mother always says. Stubborn since.
Michelle said, "Got to see what the resort and the room look like." Homie Darren said, "If he paid, he paid for the trip. You better fix your face." I'm with you, D. Fix your face. Fix your whole face. So, all right, Tay. Going on a trip with somebody though, that's a big deal.
It is.
That's a big deal because I admit I can be short with folks. I can get agitated kind of quick. And you just can't travel with everybody. You just can't travel with everybody. For me, I need somebody that can, yes, we can kick it. But when I need my solitary moments, like if I want to just go walk on the beach, or chill in the hot tub, meditate, have some time to myself, or first class by myself. I need for that person not to, have their feelings hurt, then we could just kind of reconvene and do our thing. That's me. So when I'm traveling with somebody, they really got to be like a real special person because normally, depending on how far you go, sometimes you may just do like a weekend trip, maybe like 2 or 3 days. But if you're doing more than 2 or 3 days, that's a long time to be with one person, especially if y'all pretty much kind of new to the relationship, right? So y'all just like, yo, let's try this vacation thing out. So that leads me to my question. How do you decide if you want to travel with a person? Like for y'all, I'm assuming that there's a whole lot of other stuff that you have to take into consideration. Like if this motherfucker can get crazy, once he gets me out the country or whatever. But how do you make that decision? Yeah, it's cool to go on a vacation with this person or not.
If I want to spend my time with you, I mean that's really all it takes for me. I'm not the type of person who really needs to. I mean, if we're together there, we're there together. So I don't need to just go off by myself. I don't need that. But so if I can't picture myself being with you for 7 to 8 days or whatever, I'm not going on vacation with you.
7 to 8 days with anybody is a fucking lot, bro. I don't even want to go on vacation.
Because of your personality.
7 to 8 days with my kids.
I have this ability. I can tell pretty much from just meeting a person, whether it's a person that I can, because I get annoyed with people easily. So there are very few people that I would go on vacation with, just solo. There's very few people I would go on a solo vacation with. But if I get that feeling that I like this person's company and I want to be around this person, I can do a 7-day vacation with somebody and not get annoyed. Because like I said, I can usually tell right away if it's somebody who would annoy me or not.
I mean, I don't know, Tay. Hold on 1 second. 7 days. I'm thinking for me, if it's a new thing, like we're feeling each other, it's been like 3 or 4 months, and like, yo, you want to go somewhere and have a good time. Probably 2-3 days tops for me.
I get that if it's something new, I can get that.
Because if you think about it, 48 hours with somebody is a long damn time. It's 48 hours with just one person.
With your personality, that's a long time for you.
With my personality, that's a long goddamn time. You know what I mean? 72 hours is just like shit. That's why it's important for you to let me go ahead and go to first class and sit your ass back and coach, because that's gonna allow me to be more amenable and jovial when we together. See how it works?
Again, if we can't travel together, then what's the point of being together?
We ain't traveling together. We together on the plane, right?
No, I'm just so for a brand new relationship, I can see 2 or 3 days. You gotta learn each other's travel styles and what what do you like to do on vacation, versus me, that type of stuff. But if I'm in a actual relationship, this is somebody I like being around. I can't be with somebody who I need space from. I can't do it.
I guess I can. Can you know who I like being with the most?
Yourself.
Me.
And I love me too, but to travel with somebody, I cannot travel with somebody that I don't want to spend time with. I can't do that.
Yeah. And that even goes like with your friends too, right? Like,
Yeah.
especially women, because I've talked to, people I've been in relationships with and friends. There's like a chemistry, a certain chemistry that you have to have. Like, I can travel with this homegirl and that homegirl, but if we add this one, it's gonna throw the chemistry off. So I can only travel with me and her by ourselves, or maybe her and I with another person. Guys, we don't really have those issues. I mean, because we could regulate it. We were like, hey, dude, you tripping, and we can kind of get it under control. Very rarely is it a problem, where you can just like, I can't travel with anybody. Now you still have to travel with people that get down like you do. Because like if I'm traveling with dudes like, yo, we go to the strip club every night, and they're like, yo, no, I don't do that. I like to do X, Y, and Z. It ain't gonna work, right?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see on this next excursion that I take. We'll see if I get upgraded, and we'll see. We'll see how she takes it. We'll see if she makes the mistake Tay makes. And
Well, if you need that for your attitude, then go ahead and do that. But I'm just saying, for me and my attitude, that should not happen.
So they're saying, Michelle from Atlanta says, check out The Longest Third Date on Netflix. Shouldn't be giving that movie any advertisement because they are not sponsoring the show. So, but I went ahead and read it anyway. But Tay.
Yes.
Nasty or normal? You got one for me?
I don't.
What?
I'm sorry. No, I knew we were talking about I figured we would talk about the masturbation thing. So I was looking up stuff on that and I forgot to.
Okay, pull out the conversation part. We got the conversation part.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. You want biggest pervert?
Biggest pervert. Biggest pervert, baby. That's me. Somebody gonna take a clip of that shit and then go play it on repeat. Me saying, biggest pervert, baby. That's me. They're gonna play it over and over and over, and I'm gonna be like,
and that's the clip that's gonna go viral,
right?
Oh, wait a minute. I think I've read that one before. Oops, sorry.
Make sure y'all go to the website, conversateafterdark.com. That's up, CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com. If you want to come on the show, let us know. We'll get you on here.
Okay. This isn't really a pervert one, but it's an interesting one. Have you ever said someone else's name during sex with your partner?
No.
Okay.
Not during sex. I'm not. Some people like say they think about other folks while they're having sex. I'm not like that. I don't do that. Because I think if I have to go to those extremes, I don't really need to be having sex with you. And if I have to go to those extremes, you talk about how like she won't work. If I go through those extremes, he probably ain't gonna work because I don't really want to be there. Now, I have called someone else's name, like accidentally, like on the phone. I've done that. I've done it in the house. And most times I can kind of play it off, like like one time the girl's name was a version of Chris.
Okay.
Not the girl I was with. Her name was like a version of Chris, right? And I said it, and I knew I said it as soon as I said it. She said, "What you say?" And I speak Spanish, so I was like, "KRS." He's like, what time is it? She's like, you didn't say that. I was like, yeah, I did. KRS. We're like, what time is it? And she was like, I don't think you said that. And I was like, yeah, gaslight like a motherfucker.
Did it at least fit with what was going on at the time?
Yeah, yeah. It well now, because we were just chilling, right? And
Uh-huh.
I was just brain farted and I accidentally said the other girl's name. And yeah, but I got out of it though. I got out of it though. So, what
Okay.
about you?
I've never actually said someone's name, but I almost did.
During sex?
Yes. So it was a transition phase from my first boyfriend to like the next guy. But I was able to play it off
Wait,
though.
wait, 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 wait. What was it?
It was a transition phase from my first boyfriend to the next guy.
So that means you was cheating.
Well, I've talked about
You see how they do, fellas? They say it was a transition phase.
no. I mean, I've talked about that on the show before. That was I did cheat on him, but no, this was actually literally like the relationship had ended, and I was transitioning to other people or the next person, and I was just used to saying his name. So I wasn't thinking. It wasn't a case of me thinking about him. It just my mouth was just used to saying his name, but I was able to play it off because his name was Daniel. So I was like, damn. So I was able to play it off. So that person never knew.
This was during sex, or just like y'all was just chilling?
During sex. It was during sex.
Damn. That's cold blooded.
It just came out because he was my first. I was just used to saying his name.
Y'all ain't no good. Now, I want you to be honest now.
Mm-hmm.
Has one of your partners ever said somebody else's name? Why would you?
Not during sex. I was in one of my exes. He did call me his ex-wife's name when we were in an argument. But look, I didn't even hear it. I was so busy being mad. I didn't even hear it. And he later apologized for calling me her name. I was like, I didn't even hear that. He could have kept it, but it is what it is.
I never had somebody call me somebody else's name, but I was dating a chick and she was supposed to be like out and about, right? So she called me like, yeah, I'm going over to my homegirl's house and we're gonna do this, that, and the other. She's giving me the whole agenda and the playbook. And I said, all right, we'll have a good time, I'll talk to you later. And we hung up and she called right back. And I'm like, hello? And she asked for the dude she was about to go see.
Oh wow.
I said, what? And I knew because she had a transition phase from him to me. I'm gonna use your line. She had a transition phase, so I already knew like the likelihood of her like creeping back once he called and said his name. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh, I was just playing. I was just trying to see what you was gonna say. Nah.
Nothing good.
Just go ahead and stay over there, little dirty. Just go ahead and stay over there. We good. We good. But yeah. Nah, I haven't slipped up, Tay, but I can tell. We learned a lot about you, Tay. We learned that
I know. I told the more I get comfortable with this, the more I tell. That was never my intention.
we learned that you had the transition phase. Guys, we got put on game. Transition phase.
No,
we also learned that you are very selfish when it comes to travel. You don't want your guy to upgrade himself at all.
Well, that yes, I'm selfish with that. Otherwise, I'm actually too accommodating. It is what it is.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. But anyway, tell me they can find us, Tay.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you have a topic you want us to talk about, you want to be a guest on the show, even if you want to be anonymous, or you need advice for something. I don't know how good we can be, but we can try.
I give good advice.
You can reach us at cvadthepodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share it, and subscribe.
Yep. Go to our website, conversationafterdark.com, and we'll holler at you. Peace.
Bye.